Hello. Hi, everybody. Um, I just stepped out of an embodiment circle with Katharina and Shanti, and the theme was narrative, how to tell stories that connect. So I figured since you didn't get to be in the circle, or most of you didn't get to be in the circle, I would share some of the insights and the practices we did in the circle. And the purpose is for a speaker to connect with a friend or a family member or an audience or co-workers on an emotional level. So the purpose is not to get things done, to educate or to inform about facts. The purpose is emotional connection. So in any story that you tell, you have the possibility to zoom in or to zoom out on the details, on the specifics. So, give you an example. If I say I'm into art, it's very vague. You have very little information about me. You don't know what kind of art. What does it mean that I'm into art? Am I a consumer of art, a patron of art, or am I one who does art? And what kind of art? Is it visual? Is it performance? Is it music? What kind of art? So this is an umbrella. It's a very large category. So I'm being vague. I can zoom in by bringing specifics. So, for example, eh, I like visual arts and I'm into visual arts. So now it's a little bit more specific. You still don't know whether it's painting or sculpture. And so if I say, well, I like painting and I actually paint. So now you know that I'm not just interested in intellectually, or I'm not just a consumer of art, but I actually do art and I do visual art and I do painting. And so I can chunk it down and I can zoom in greater and greater specific. And if I tell you, you can see some of it behind me, acrylic on canvas. So I paint acrylic on canvas. Now it's much more specific. If I say I like to use pastels or I like to use monochrome, then we're getting really, really, really specific. So this is just an example. And if you're giving too, if you're being too vague, you can't connect with another because they don't know anything about you. If I say I'm into art, you know absolutely nothing about me. If you give too much detail and too much specific, you might lose your audience or your listener to boredom and to irritation. So as a speaker, it's always a good idea to notice what is your, and of course now I'm speaking to you and I don't see you and I have no idea what my impact is on you. But if we were together, I would pay attention. So you want to pay attention to, is the person you're talking to falling asleep and yawning and closing their eyes, or are they fidgeting? And the fidgeting comes when a person is so tired that they need to create some energy through movement in order to be able to stay awake. So you can see this kind of detail in your audience and monitor the level or the level of detail you're offering in order to keep them engaged. Now, another aspect of the narrative is the subjective versus objective. So let me give you an example. If I tell you, you ask me, so Tana, how was your day? And I say, I, uh, I woke up, I took a shower, I ate breakfast, and I went to the dog park with my dog, and I spent an hour and 5 minutes. So I'm very precise. You see, I'm giving you details that are very objective and very specific. Now, I could give you details that will bore you, like the color of the car and how long it took me from home to the dog park. So this is too much detail, but we're talking about objective. This is objective facts. You don't know how I feel. You don't know why I went to the dog park. You don't know if I liked it or not. You don't know my motives, my drives, my experiences, my emotions, and so forth. Because all I gave you was the objective part of the narrative. So this is very good if you're a journalist and you're dealing with facts, or you're a scientist and you want to educate. This is good. But on an emotional level, people need to get a glimpse in each other's emotional interiors in order to connect. We're talking about emotional connection. Now I'm going to go to the other extreme, and I'm going to tell you only the subjective experience, without giving you a factual, objective context. So hear this. So I woke up this morning feeling a little bit antsy and irritated. And as the day progressed, I went through a low and then a high, and then I felt really exhilarated, and I really enjoyed. There was so much joy and exuberance, and then the urgency of getting things done, and then I got really centered and calm. So now I didn't give you anything factual. You don't know what caused the joy, what caused the exhilaration, why the dip in my mood, why the upliftment, what was the urgency in order to do what motivated me. So without a context of facts, the subjective experience is kind of in the air. You still don't know me. You don't have the possibility to understand me and where I'm coming from and what causes my emotions. Is it something I dreamt last night? Is it something I remembered? Or is it something that I did that was joyful or that was calming and so forth? But if I tell you, I did have a bad dream and I woke up in a really low mood and irritated. But then I did my practice. I did my metta and some qigong, and this brought me to a place of center. And then I went to the dog park, and it's a sunny day. So I'm giving you a mix, a combination of objective and subjective um, specifics about my day. And it's a bright sunny day, and I got a lot of sun on me, and I was watching my dog running fast and playing with the other dogs, and vicariously I felt a great deal of joy. And I spoke with other dog parents, which is during the pandemic and the social distancing, going to a place of joy where you can speak with people in person brings me a great deal of joy. It makes me feel like I won the lottery. So I was uplifted and joyful. So now you know more about me. You know that I have a dog that I go to the park with. You know what the weather was like. You know what the effect of the weather had on my own emotions. You know how much I enjoy speaking with people in person, and the amount of joy that this brings to me, and how I felt like I won the lottery. So you get much more bigger picture, objective and subjective about me, and it's easier to connect and easier to relate. So try this in your relationships, and pay attention to the amount of detail you give. Not too much to bore, not too little to be vague, and bring a combination of integration of objective and subjective information to convey who you are to your audience, to your friends, to your family members. So create a connection, and do as the listener, the other side is in taking curiosity in the person you speak to and you listen to, and ask questions that are both subjective and objective. So ask about what did you do, how was your day is very general. Well, how did the things go with your homeschooling for your child? and how do you feel about it? So subjective and objective, and this is what creates the connection. Have a wonderful day. I hope this is helpful to you, and see you another time. Bye.